Hemorrhagic tonsillitis. Tonsils are paired structures seen in the oropharynx. So these are the tonsils. These form the part of the immune system, the protective system of the body. What happens is, this in one side, unilateral, from the tonsil it may start bleeding. Now, if you want to define this condition, to term the condition as hemorrhagic tonsillitis, the bleeding should be lasting at least for an hour, or the bleeding should be approximately about 250 ml. So the cause for this is not known. There can be so many etiologies for this. So main cause, we don't have a one specific cause. So what happens is, usually one side tonsil, the blood flow to that particular area is increased, followed by trauma of the area covering over it. So why does the blood flow increase on that particular side? It is not known. Why there is a necrosis or damage of the covering of the tonsil? It is not known. Maybe any of the one of the causes which I am going to mention. Now, infective cause can be one. It can be bacterial, it can be viral. If it is bacterial, this is one of the commonest organisms which is involved. The common presentation of the patient will be, they will say, when they spit, there is blood in the saliva. So when we examine the oropharynx or the oral cavity, we can see a spot of blood coming from the tonsil, and which is always on one side, either of any one side. So that can be one particular spot of bleeding, or it can be a diffuse bleed. So that's what I have written, localized, or it can be diffused. Now, like how I mentioned before, the cause is not known. So we will start with the investigation, the basic investigation of hemoglobin. If the patient bleeds continuously or recurrent again and again, there will be a drop of hemoglobin, and this can lead to anemia. So we have to investigate to know whether it's an infective cause. If it is infective, it is bacterial or viral, or is there any other causes like any bleeding problems or coagulopathy. For that we have to do a bleeding profile, coagulation profile, and platelet count. At the same time, if the bleeding is ongoing, we would like to do a blood grouping and cross matching to keep the blood ready for the transfusion if necessary. Now, if the coagulation profile is normal, so we can do a viral study also to know if it's a viral infection. So that's what I have written here. Viral study can be IgM for Epstein-Barr virus, monosport test, and it can be viral capsid antigen. Any of this we can do. So if it is bacterial, we have to take a swab from that tonsil, that particular area tonsil, and we have to send it for culture and sensitivity. If all this turns out to be normal, and it has been recurrent bleeding again and again from the same spot, we will go ahead and do an MRI scan, that is specifically diffusion weighted images, and followed by surgery. So what we do, when I say means surgery, is not very common. Most of the time the bleeding stops by itself, or minor by cauterization we can stop the bleeding. But if all the tests are negative and bleeding is still ongoing, then we need to do a tonsillectomy. That particular site tonsil has to be removed, and we will send it for testing. And so we can do it, it will be part of a testing also, and it will be therapeutic as well as it will be a part of the treatment. Now, coming to the treatment. If it is infective cause, we will give a course of antibiotic, that is specifically bacterial. If it is a viral cause, again conservative treatment. So with due course, say a week or so, it will stop. The bleeding will stop. If it is a coagulopathy, then the hematologist will take care, and he will diagnose which particular coagulopathy he'll diagnose which particular coagulopathy, and he'll treat it specifically. Then the bleeding stops by itself. If it is a bleeding from one particular spot, we can stop the bleeding or control the bleeding by doing cauterization. So the cauterization can be chemical cautery or by cryotherapy. So the chemical cautery usually which we use is silver nitrate cautery. Even the electrical cautery can be used. Very rarely we may need to remove the tonsil of that particular involved site. That will help us in two things. One is we will get a tissue for biopsy so that we can come to a diagnosis. Next, we will be able to control the bleed. So this is done only when all the tests are negative and the bleeding doesn't stop, it's ongoing. Only in that case, we will go ahead and do a tonsillectomy. So that is about hemorrhagic tonsillitis. Thank you so much.